Hi everyone, this is Alex Ribe, immigration attorney with Osorio. And in this video, I want to talk about removal proceedings and what the hearing is actually going to look like, what should you expect, and what the types of hearings there are. So there are two categories of hearings in removal proceedings, a master calendar hearing and an individual calendar hearing. So anytime somebody has a hearing, they have one of these two typically, either a master calendar hearing or an individual calendar hearing. Master calendar hearing is more of a preliminary hearing. It's where the judge and the attorney, if there is an attorney for the client, and the Department of Homeland Security attorney might speak about eligibility issues. They might take pleadings on the notice to appear. The notice to appear is the document that initiates removal proceedings. It states what country you're a citizen of, how you came into the United States, whether or not you have status in the United States, how you're deportable from the United States, perhaps. And so the judge and the attorneys or the respondent, so the person who's in removal proceedings is called a respondent, they might discuss this document. They might take pleadings, which means you either admit or deny the allegations on those on that document. The judge might determine whether there's an application on file, whether the person is prima facie eligible for the application, meaning if maybe there's an application on file for a green card, but does the person seem to have a eligibility reason for a green card? Like, is there a reason why they might be eligible for a green card? So those preliminary conversations take place at a master calendar hearing. And then the individual calendar hearing is the full trial for the benefit, meaning, where there might be testimony, a presentation of evidence, presentation of legal arguments for whatever it is that you're applying for. So it might be asylum, or it might be cancellation of removal, or it might be a bond or something like that. The individual calendar hearing is where the judge actually listens to the legal arguments for why you perhaps deserve a green card or an opportunity to stay in the United States, or asylum here in the United States. So let's kind of dive deeper into what those two look like and what you should expect and timing. So first of all, you might be asking yourself, how in the world do I even know whether I'm scheduled for a master calendar hearing or an individual calendar hearing? Well, hopefully you have what's called an A number. An A number is it's typically a 9-digit number that you're going to find on any document that you've received from immigration. So it might be a green card, might be an employment document, it might be the notice to appear, it might be your bond paperwork, it might be your parole paperwork. Any of your immigration documents should have an A number. Then when you have the A number, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you that you can actually go to an online portal. So you can literally Google EOIR portal, okay? EOIR is the Executive Office for Immigration Review. And so if you Google that, the first thing that comes up is going to be this portal, okay? You're going to click on automated case information, and then you accept these privacy terms, and then you're going to enter the A number, okay, whatever it is. Now, I'm just going to make one up. Okay, I made one up, and then I submit. So this might say so I just made one up and it happened to be someone's A number. But if you make one up and it's not someone's A number, then it's going to say no case found for this A number, okay? If it is someone's A number, if it is your A number, then it's going to show up with the information about your hearing, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing and just explain that will then show you whether you have a master calendar hearing or an individual calendar hearing, and it will show you the the date and time and location of that hearing and which kind of hearing it is. Now, for a master calendar hearing, typically you can appear via video. Typically, okay? Most judges in the United States post-COVID allow you to appear via video, and you can do that for a master calendar hearing. Now, you cannot, however, necessarily always appear via video, so you do want to check with the court. And for an individual hearing, you can't always appear via video. But for a master calendar hearing, many times you can. The reason for that is because usually a lot of people are scheduled for a master calendar hearing at the same time. So what I mean by that is it's not just for you, because your specific case might only take 3 minutes, okay? And so you're going to have a lot of other people. It's usually based on order of signing in. So you have to sign in. If you're virtual, some judges just see who's there. Some judges have like a sign-in sheet on the right-hand side. And so then they call you up. And then if you have an attorney, the attorney might take pleadings, might talk to the judge quickly, might confirm an address, and then that's it, okay? And then the judge will set an individual calendar hearing typically. Now, at the individual calendar hearing, again, that is when you might have to go in person. Many judges require that, or you need a motion to appear by video. You're going to have to typically testify, meaning that you would have to explain very clearly on direct examination, and then be subject to cross-examination. The government can ask you questions as well regarding your claim. So maybe it's a claim for asylum, maybe it's a claim for a green card in some other way, but you'll have to testify. You typically have to submit evidence, usually at least 15 days prior to that individual calendar hearing. You submit all of your evidence and you submit your witness list. Who is going to testify? Is it just you? Do you have witnesses? Do you have family or friends that are testifying? Do you have experts that are testifying? People can sometimes testify via phone, even if they're in a different country, via video as well. So you are going to submit all of that evidence at least 15 days prior to the hearing. Sometimes judges will give you a different deadline. They'll say 30 days or 60 days. And then at the individual calendar hearing, you get typically an answer as to whether you're granted your application. Now, usually, often, people have 2 hearings altogether, one master and one individual, but not always, because at your first master, maybe you just hired an attorney, and the attorney needs more time to prepare your application. And that first hearing might be super short, just you're asking the court for a continuance. Or maybe you go to your first hearing and then your judge changes and then you get another master calendar hearing. Oftentimes it's 2, but I often see people having more than one master calendar hearing. That's also very common. Both are common scenarios. And then the timing between the 2, that really depends on the court and how many judges there are. So it can sometimes be a short amount of time, like a few months. Often it's a couple years between the master and the individual hearing. So it really just depends on the court that you're in and how busy the judges are, how far out their schedule is. But that's what you should expect. You should expect, hopefully, to work with your attorney well in advance of your hearing to get everything prepared, submitted, translated, country conditions excerpted. There's a specific format things have to be filed in with pagination and tabs and highlights. Very, very important. There's an immigration court practice manual that needs to be followed in terms of the submission. It's very important to practice your testimony and understand exactly what it is that you are planning to testify about, so you know what are the important aspects of my case. What is important for me to make sure that the judge understands about my claim. It's very important to work with your attorney to figure that out prior to your hearing. So that's a master calendar and an individual calendar hearing. Thank you so much for your attention today.